Hello, everyone. Welcome to this May 12th, 2024 Higher Love Alchemy Live. It is Mother's Day, pretty much halfway around the world, in China, India, the US, Australia, and I'm sure more. I activated myself before the transmission. That came in from a higher dimensional part of my structure as I was getting dressed. And as often as the case, music will begin to play. You can't make it up. In this case, it was a song, an instrumental called Summon the Flame. And my entire body just lit up. Anytime this happens before I'm about to do this kind of work, that means that we're in store for some really big healing today. And some of you may be able to feel that already. So we will begin by just going right into the messages and into the work, and then we'll talk Q&A and the gifts and all that fun stuff at the end. I just want to make sure you can all hear me. I'm still saying hello, but if someone would just let me know that you can hear and see me before because once I go in, we're going, I think, really expansive into some major multidimensional work today. Thank you so much for letting me know. So let's go ahead and just drop in. Place a hand on your heart. Close your eyes. Place a hand over your second chakra, just below the navel, and hold yourself. We're going to do a little clearing because this is going to help with integration that I'm being told. So focus on your breath, and each in-breath, focus on expanding the heart center in all directions. And the belly, let the belly really expand. And on the out breath, really let go. Breathe it all out. There we go. Okay, we're being instructed now to not effort your breath, but imagine that someone is breathing for you. For some of you, that's your greater spirit. Others of you may have a different metaphor, but let's just, let yourself be breathed, is the phrase. What would that feel like if you just allowed yourself to be breathed? Yeah, there's a much deeper level of relaxation happening. So imagine something is breathing for you and you don't have to do it. Just let go. Let go of tension you didn't even realize you were holding. As you allow yourself to be breathed in this way, let your brain waves come into greater coherence. And notice how you're not efforting at all. Many of you have already begun to purge deep emotional trauma associated with the feminine on your planet. For a very, very long time, when a member of a species is captured, traded, stolen, sold for breeding purposes, this creates compounded trauma that no one on the planet has been able to escape. It comes with the human vehicle. This is not about blame. This is not about division. This is about healing now. But for so many on the planet, they have been trying to avoid this pain. Understandably, because they do not understand from whence it originates or emanates. Of course, it is carried in every single human body and form. And so we are going to begin to reverse this wounding and to heal the templates. We are going now to the original idea and conception for the idea of seeding this planet with human life. Feel the abundance of life in general, in all of living creation. Feel that spark that emanates everywhere. And now feel the love with which this race line was created. The original conception, that's beginning to unwind so much right there. Let the unraveling run its course. And breathe. Coming back to the original conception for humanity is a point of deep and profound love. Let all of the over-efforting and striving unwind now. We do not need to strive for love because we were made from love. That just shifted everyone's template. And I'm being told it's shifting the template for the all. I'm hearing a lot of celebration as we make this new prototype available for incoming souls. They do not have to come in with the same kind of distortion or omission that we had to take on. Now we are being guided to focus on our ancestral race lines and trees with its many branches or tributaries, like a tree or river, however you wish to think of it. Connect deeply with your body now. Speak to your body. Bring forward, without needing to recall or know consciously what it is, all of the mother trauma. For all those that did not want to be mothers, that were forced into it, who were surprised by it, who felt resigned to it, who felt trapped by it, and who felt denied it. Yeah, there's a ton of energy moving now. We're shifting this using the high heart and alchemizing it, repurposing it for higher aims. You feel a lot of you, I can feel the 6th energy center, the pineal gland, beginning to expand and open up as we create a new vision from the old trauma. Allow yourself now to expand out, and that clearing will allow you to expand out in your awareness and feel the tremendous amount of love and support we have from so many different collectives. Go ahead now and begin to shift your vibration up, almost like a moving platform that we're moving ourselves up with all of this love and support. Elevating yourself, your entire ancestral lines, up and out of the dark ages of consciousness into something much more balanced, hopeful, creative, sovereign, and free. Now we're claiming a place in a paradigm where freedom does not need to exist, because entrapment does not exist. We are being invited into the third way and to transcend this duality construct altogether. Yeah. A lot of this happening, I could feel at the base of the spine. It's just like almost like a unplugging, a detaching. Woo. A lot is leaving the jaw, a lot of tension, a lot of anger. Now, allow yourself to integrate, because I can feel a lot of you feel very untethered, like, whoa, I don't even know what to do in this space. This is so unfamiliar. You may feel ungrounded. You have to ground now into this new way of being, which is outside of that particular construct of duality of freedom slash entrapment. You are just in the I am now. Ground yourself into the I am. You are a complete circuit. Yeah, a lot is clearing out of the spine, the lower back for many. And everything just went radio silent. 0 point. Beautiful. Mm. When you feel ready, gently make your way back here. And just notice what you notice, how you feel. Transcendent, grounded, expanded, very calm. It's not background noise running. In my own reflection, I'm having a moment of recognizing and observing that while I was expecting a lot more energy to run through my own higher dimensional collectives that are part of my multidimensional structure, if you're wondering who my guides are, it's myself, it's my own multidimensional plurality, is informing us that because we went to the original point of conception for this project that we are in and reconnected with the love that drove or founded this project, we used a massive point of leverage. And so we do not need to do the normal, like what I often experience down in the trenches here, working on portal systems, et cetera, of enormous amounts of frequency that have to be used. So I'm having kind of a wow moment of the multidimensional technology can be so incredibly efficient. And we're all being zoomed out. Remember, this is just one project of many, 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 countless, right? We forget because we're in here and this is our main focus in this fractal of source that we are. But for our greater multidimensional awareness, consciousness, plurality, of course, we would go to the easiest, most efficient solution. Like the whole conversation now is, of course, you can do things the old way if you wish, kind of like they're showing me horses before cars and now self-driving cars. But we know many of you have a preference for clearing templates and running a higher order of embodiment now, as per your soul agreements, desires and wishes to come in and shift things. So let me know how you are feeling, what you noticed. This is where we'll open up some questions and get more information if we need it. And more insight will come in, I'm sure. And this will be a good time. I'll share the gifted book this time. Went to at Leslie Becker, 9072. And the 30-minute private session, sorry, I'm still integrating, went to at Lisa.Alexandra. So thanks so much for your comments. I'm really appreciating all the feedback and the sharing and the conversation that's happening. Yeah, feeling rounded and centered. You felt the mother's aquamarine ray. I saw that yesterday. Yeah, beautiful. This one is pretty profound, y'all. It went way, way, way back. Um, what I noticed when we were doing that and connecting with that original conception was almost like a gear shifting and a complete unwinding. It's hard to even describe, but I thought, oh, wow, so much of our drives are from this idea somehow that we're not loved or we aren't love. But of course, we are loved because we were made, this whole project was made from a place of love, even though we knew that we would forget that and that there would be a lot of distortions. Now we're in a time of major restoration and reclamation to clear that. Let me move the chat over here. Still a lot coming out of the lower back, yeah. So Renee, you have a question about light language. What are we here to do with that information streaming through many of us? A lot of it is, first and foremost, I'm hearing clearing extraneous influences and realigning you to the divine blueprint that you wanted to work with and bring through here in very specific ways. So mainly at this stage, it feels like, sure, yes, there can be transmissions that come out in service, but it's really about getting you back to your most authentic self in a multidimensional context, because the multidimensional self then vibrating, emanating, influencing the field is quite the system override. And this would be a good time to remind us all that any attempts to distract us from realigning with our truest essence and bringing that override through and that coherent influence through is just that. It's a distraction technique. So I would caution everyone to stay out of polarity dramas. The real revolution is right here. It's this transcendence that happened, which, by the way, kind of blew my mind that we transcended freedom entrapment completely today. In the words of one of my friends and colleagues, the only way to win the game is to not play the game in the same way or in the way that it was designed. It's to completely rewrite or recode what we're doing. So what will it be like now to operate outside of the duality construct? It feels like a lot of creative energy is being repurposed and made available. So we're not having to fight against anything, right? No longer angry, which I had been trying to mute all this morning. Yeah, thank you for speaking to that, because I could feel the tremendous amount of anger in the field around this wounding that the race line has been subjected to for longer than most people understand, right? There's a big, big history that we won't get into, but it's, I just thought, wow, I don't know what we're going to do with all that anger, right? Well, again, when we go back to becoming the love that seeded and founded this project, it unraveled just so much. We might make sense of this in days, weeks, months, years to come, as is often the case. Oh, it's moving. Let's see. Quiet peace, like a lake, as smooth as glass. Yeah. Again, when we are coherent and at peace and emanating and transcending these constructs, that's creating a completely different world from within. Feeling lighter and a little lightheaded. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we've been working on unwinding the imprisonment thing, right? And then you're saying, boom, you just helped us lift out of that as a paradigm, right, into the love beyond. That's it. I mean, I literally felt in the tailbone, like almost like I heard like a snap, like, oh wow, like that's done. We're not playing in that space anymore. Interesting. I'm just getting more information. Yeah, the breathing us, that was new. I've never experienced being breathed. What a concept. It's what I'm being told now is that that practice allows us to detach our busy mind even more. And it puts our body into a state of nurturing and receiving from our greater self. So it's a very powerful practice that I would definitely recommend you carry forward. I definitely will beat myself. Rhonda, you're pretty loopy because you just watched the third video and then jumped on this live. Yeah, it can be a lot if we do these back to back. So drink a lot of water, get some good rest today. Kelly, you feel like a warm bath of love. Yes, that's it. Hmm. The question is there a difference between channeling and being oracular, if there is one? You know, I would invite everyone into this question, channeling, okay? Being an oracle, all of that. What we're really talking about is the greater you. So it's what I'm being shown is shifting your awareness from I'm a human and I need to get something greater outside of myself to channel through me and into like, I'm the multidimensional being. I'm working through this conduit of a human vehicle. And how much can I turn it over to my greater multidimensional self? And you may have different aspects in different star systems or dimensions that share some of that structure that have really advanced healing technologies that want to come in as guest speakers. Yeah, I'm getting warm now. Whew. Talk about an activation. But it's all, I invite everyone to reframe it. It's all from within your own multidimensional self. Nothing is outside of you, but the you is a very expansive multidimensional self. So it's a little bit of a reframe. Ooh, just moved. Yeah, I'm still having some effects. Wow. Um, Barbara, you had something that pulled you off center. Invariably, we'll all get, these tests thrown our way. And then you saw red balloons and water that was glass last night. What beautiful reflection, right? We're so supported. Yeah, the anxiety feeling and solar plexus issues happening for a few days. I mean, we've been going through, so see how the series got directed in divine right timing for these greater, higher harmonic efforts to up level, shift consciousness on the planet. So anytime we get solar storms like this, and there's a lot more going on at plasma flow levels that aren't visible, seen, or known by modern science, the greater ascension mechanics, there's massive purging. Massive. So a lot of you probably in the last few days, maybe this last week, have just, had to go through some unpleasant emotions. I'm being told like the abandonment wound was very strong this week in purging that, making space for something different. Okay. And how much of that is in the line, right? How many orphans are probably in the family trees? And then I'm being reminded it's not just this planet that we're clearing, it's going way beyond it, and it's reverberating across many different dimensions. That one they didn't bring into our awareness because I was just questioning that, and they said it would have taken a lot of people into a mental questioning and it would not have served the greater process. But now that we're out of the multidimensional process, know that the healing we just did is reverberating across all of our different aspects. So back to the multidimensional self, which has many different aspects and many different dimensional experiences and star systems. There's a reverberation that's being made available, as was talked about in a prior session, that is very healing, because all of those projects were also seeded with love. Yeah, my team's like, you have no idea what you've created. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so profound. What's happening here? My human is kind of going, what? Okay. Wow. Yeah, I mean, just think of all that compounded. Because again, all that compounded trauma and difficulty, again, this isn't just planet Earth that's ascending, it's this whole corner of living creation that is being recovered, repaired, restored, reclaimed. It's massive. Okay, let's see, where are we? Okay, so yeah, Lauren, you felt it in the tailbone too. No longer angry. What a relief. Had no idea you were angry. Yeah, this is really common. In my client work, I'm always amazed how we'll uncover shadow and people are shocked. They're like, what? I had no idea that was there. And by the way, I'm being prompted to tell you, if you're in resistance to seeing your blind spots, that is a blind spot. Just a little tip there. You might want to lean into that shadow work a little bit. Okay, where are we? Yeah, the being breathed allowed you to relax faster. I found the same thing. I was like, wow, talk about a hack to like instant relaxation, right? Oh, where'd the chat go? Where'd you go? Back over here. There we go. You saw 3 red balloons yesterday. Choice. Well, you better pick up the phone because your guides are trying to get a hold of you, right? For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, I put out a red balloon to spirit guides worldwide to say, and then announced it on my socials to say, hey, your guides are wanting to get in touch with you if you see red balloons. And of course, if you need help with that for right now, I can be like a translator, but really I want everybody able to do this on their own. So let's get your field nice and clear so you'll be able to do that. All this work we're doing here should help massively. Yeah, Claire, you're clear on Claire, you're clear on why so much mud of emotions the last 3 days, right? Yes. Beautiful. So what I want to presence for everyone is, in addition to obviously the personal benefit, the benefit to your ancestral line, what we've done today is major multidimensional work, meaning we've made a template available to the incoming star kiddos and souls who want to who now, what I'm being told, who now have the option, if they want to take some of the distortion on still, that's absolutely valid. But a lot of them, I can feel it. That's like, maybe it's, the differentials are changing. It's like a very small percent. Because that level of distortion will not be able to vibrationally reside, survive, maintain in the ascending frequencies. So it makes sense that we would be making a template available for souls to create vehicles that don't carry such distorted and low frequency bodies that will have a very hard time surviving in higher frequencies. Kind of, there's a logic there. That makes a lot of sense. So just in case you didn't catch that, in plain English, you participate in a massive multidimensional mission today. Right? It is pretty incredible. Ooh, my jaw just went. Awesome. Yeah, you know, it makes sense that we are creating a better frequency for the incoming in the same way that when you know, are leaving a place, you tend to want to, tidy up and put things in order and leave it better than you found it. It's that sort of thing, you know? I mean, there's translations even in the physical world of what we're talking about. Not to mention, like anybody drawn to this channel, to me, is absolutely here to help co-create heaven on earth and, help with the ascension process. Yeah, beautiful. Like nesting. Yeah, thank you. When you're expecting, you make the nursery ready. Yes. In fact, I find it highly symbolic that the Eastern Phoebe bird that nested on my deck, her chicks are up and out, like on the lip of the nest. You know how they kind of start getting ready to fledge, and they're up on the edge of the nest now, right? Boys, I wouldn't be surprised if they fledge today. I'll have to keep you all posted on my socials. And we'll go back to the chat. Keeps disappearing on me. Okay, the questions are slowing down. Any other questions? I recognize. Oh, it's, yeah, 40s. Awesome. Uh, you all may be integrating still, and that's perfectly okay. I'll see if there's anything else in the larger context for integration that wants to come through. What can you do to prepare for the next transmission and take the energy forward? Yeah, so like, yeah, let's see what comes through on integration. The first word I heard was stillness. So seek stillness, which actually is going to be much more of a match to where you are now in your own multidimensional self and coming through your human form. So you're going to crave stillness because it's the reflection of what you are right now, what you've reclaimed. And so allow that to be your outer reflection, your outer environment. And notice that when you're in that place, there's so little mental anything. It's almost like an effort to try to think versus an effort to try to turn the thinking off. That's a nice inversion, right? Yeah. So that's really all that's being shared. So it's kind of like a lot of the mental noise and chatter is gone. And I kind of noticed that with the lack of questions. I mean, we're not in that space of being super busy mentally, right? Yeah. Jim, I've felt so still since the transmission that it is work to type this. Yeah, right. Wait, like, let me think. Oh, I don't want to. Right. So you don't have to. Isn't that great news? Hallelujah. That's what we've all been, I think, waiting for us to get to this level of peace, stillness, and yet not stillness, nobody's home, stillness of like, so much of you is coming through. You are a transharmonic pillar, Renee. Yeah, just let yourself feel the pulsing coming through. Because transharmonic universes, that's your multidimensional self that spans the different dimensions. And the monadic activation at the beginning invoked all that, and now you're running all that through. Yeah, can you feel it up here in your high heart? Yeah, still has been the message from your guides. Yeah, barely gotten out of bed. Yeah, so just a real slowing down right now because we're doing what I heard is changeover. There's a massive changeover. They're showing me like in the middle of the night when the highway team comes out and changes the paint on the like to repaint the lines on the highway. It's like that kind of thing. So that then when you start moving back out in the world again, but it's through a different template. So you're collapsing reality very differently and having a completely different experience. Beautiful. Yeah, so I can feel many others. It's just not this. It's not in the zone to visit or talk. So we'll honor that and let you all just enjoy this delicious energy, and absolutely revisit the replay. And you'll go. What I'm being shown is you're going to go deeper every time, and you're going to be able to find layers and unwind layers that didn't quite make it this time. So let me know how that goes too. Be sure and leave comments on the recording so I know how it all went for you. Thank you, Lauren. I love you too. Yeah, see, nothing's outside of you, Renee. The pillars are not outside of you. You are one. Thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Kelly. I love you all. And I will see you again on Wednesday for the mothers in the group. Actually, for everyone, happy Mother's Day. You're a mother somewhere, in some dimension, in some lifetime somewhere. So happy Mother's Day to all of us. Let's celebrate a completely new level of love being able to come through, having cleared so much of the wounding in the template. Thank you so much for participating, whether it was live today or on the recording. It's all equal in, its effect. So thank you. And I'll see you Wednesday. Bye for now.